All right, everyone. Welcome to our webinar tonight. You are joining us because you have signed up for the USA Elite Recruiting Camp, which will be taking place soon in Meriden, Connecticut, over at Thorpe Park. And thank you for taking part in this webinar with me tonight. Again, we're going to be talking about recruiting today. And some of you have heard me speak before, and the reason I like to kind of go over my background is, unfortunately, I hear a lot of people talking about recruiting these days, and a lot of people talking about a lot of things. And I'm one, as a lifelong learner, I will listen to anyone who I believe has some knowledge in the topic and is got some information that they can help me with so I can learn. And just to give you all an idea of my background, Fastpitch Online Showcase was started a while ago, and I was the first person to really work on the online video delivery for softball. And I was a college coach for 10 years at the Division I level, multiple top 25 rankings and regional appearance, members of ranking committees for the region as well as top 25. Many of you might know the school CW Post, which recently stopped their softball program, but I was the coach there for a number of years. Many of you may have heard of the Long Island Chargers. That's an organization I started on Long Island a number of years ago. And working with travel ball as well as a college coach. So I can see this recruiting from multiple angles. I see it from the college coach's perspective, and I see it from the travel team's perspective. So let's talk about what's going on here. You are all participating in the recruiting camp at USA Elite on Thursday. The recruiting camp is in the morning. That's one event. And also there is exposure games in the afternoon. Now we're going to talk a little bit about why this year is unique. If you've ever participated in one of our events prior, this year is different because we are in a pandemic and the NCAA has changed the recruiting rules. So Division I coaches are not allowed to go out and recruit at all. And right now that's the dead period is extended till August 31st. So what have we done for USA Elite this year is at the recruiting camp in the morning, we have Division II coaches offering instruction. So there will be Division I, II coaches participating and watching the players and giving instruction. And there will also be Division III coaches watching. So as always, the recruiting camp is recorded, hitting and defense. So to give you an idea, the hitting is the front toss. For defense catchers, their throwdowns are recorded with the pop times. The pitchers are recorded pitching 7 pitches with the radar gun speed at whatever pitches they want to throw. Infielders fielding ground balls, outfielders fielding fly balls. In addition to the video portions, there's also live stations to be seen by the college coaches who are there, live defensive stations. And this year we have another unique feature in that we are going to live stream the defensive station on our USA Elite Facebook Live. So we're doing everything we can to get you recruited during this difficult time. So yes, there will be college coaches at the event, and yes, portions are recorded and made into a virtual showcase and sent over 2,000 college coaches. You are also, that virtual showcase is everyone at the event. Now we're going to talk about your performance and getting you recruited. And one of the options that you have is purchasing your skills video from this event. And that's something with just your player's performance. And that is an opportunity to get the hitting and the defensive portion made into a short video that you can then send to college coaches. More on that. So that is an additional purchase. In addition to all of those other portions of the recruiting camp, if you're an infielder or an outfielder, your overhand throwing speed as well as catchers is recorded. Pitching speeds for pitchers, the throwdown times for the catchers, running times for infield and outfield are all recorded. So those are also independent metrics that you'll be able to give to college coaches. So purchasing your skills video. So If you want to purchase, again, what's included in the event is the virtual showcase sent to 2,000 college coaches, which we do generally the week after the event. And we've always had a great turnout with that. The coaches get the recruiting camp book, and they also get the video of the event. But again, we are going to talk about how to use that and there are close to 200 participants in this event. So there are a lot of participants at this event. So while the virtual showcase is a great piece, we want you to learn how to get your individual softball player recruited. So if you wish to get your individual skills video with just your portion, several of you have done this before because I sent out an email and a text. You go to our website, fastpitchonlineshowcase.com, because this year we're contactless due to COVID, and you could purchase the video right on the website. It's $45, and you get a link to a YouTube video on our website. So with the $45, yes, we will do some limited editing. So not a problem. It includes music. It includes titles. It includes her information like her grad year. So all of this is included in the video, and you will get a link from our YouTube site. Now, if you want the video to put it on a recruiting site or to use it yourself, you can purchase for an additional $20 the download rights, and then we will send you a link and you could actually download the physical file. So if you have a recruiting service and you want to upload it to a recruiting service, you can do that. With the YouTube link, you can still send it to college coaches. That's not a problem. We also have the ability to buy a DVD. Some people still like that, so we do have the opportunity to upgrade and buy a DVD of it as well. All right, so let's talk about how we're going to use this event and how we are going to use our video. Let me explain to you the current situation. And I never thought I would say this, but I'm going to help you get recruited during a pandemic. And it's something that's unprecedented. Hopefully we'll all never have to deal with this again. But the NCAA has suspended all in-person recruiting until at least August 31st for Division I. That does not mean Division I coaches are not recruiting. They are. There are special rules for Division II and Division III. Division II are allowed to work camps, such as working our camp on Thursday. Division III are allowed to attend events. In the afternoon on Thursday and the evening, many of you may also be participating in the exposure games. That is a separate event, and that will be coached by Division III coaches, and also we will video those games and send them out as well to college coaches. Now, what's the ramification of all of this recruiting information? Scholarships are possibly reduced. I know budgetary restrictions are happening. Budgets are getting reduced just because if there's no football this fall, the NCAA is losing money. So I know that's going to trickle down to the colleges. And some very, very difficult things are happening. Many coaches at the Division II and Division III level have been furloughed. Coaches are not hosting their camps. The college campuses are not allowing it. And the NCAA allowed for an extra year of eligibility from last year's seniors. So this may affect some scholarships because a coach may have figured somebody was leaving and now they're not. So there's fewer roster spots available, and the timeline to recruiting has just been thrown out the window. So there are no hard and fast rules about what's going on right now, but there are some things that I can tell you that will help. So here is all of the restrictions in a nutshell. Division I, the coaches are out there and they are recruiting. They just physically can't go out. So that video of your player, of a highlight video becomes more and more important. Division II is in a quiet period until July 31st. They can work camps, and Division III has no restrictions. So what does this all mean? So skills video, like you're getting done for the recruiting camp, becomes more and more important. Also, I strongly suggest a highlight video of game footage. I strongly encourage all of your teams this season to pool your money and buy a GoPro camera and take video of every single game. Do not send out the entire game to every coach. Think about if every player did that, the coaches will not watch it all. But get one of your young children to create a highlight video. Put in the time yourself. Show video. If you're a pitcher, show video of your pitcher striking out batters left and right. Highlight what your athlete does best and make sure you put in that she's the pitcher. If she's the shortstop, put text in, because too many times I would get a highlight video and I didn't know who I was supposed to be watching. So it is worth the money this summer, if you're playing games and showcases, to video those games using a GoPro camera, slice them up, and make a highlight video. Because recruiting was hard before. Now, Division I coaches are not coming out. And on top of it, if you're late in the recruiting process, 2021, 2022, the timeline is getting definitely abbreviated for you. Also, younger people, you need those skills videos. Just because recruiting happens later and we're not doing as many early commits does not mean college coaches are not looking for freshmen and sophomores. They are. It is very important that our young people get comfortable with the recruiting process. They need to get out there, get video done. They need to practice performing in front of college coaches and getting video done. That's very, very important, especially the higher the level you want to play. So getting skills video done, getting game highlights done, and this is going to be the next part. You need to find the right fit in a college. So stop trying to be discovered, especially in this day and age. There are not as many college coaches walking around. So you need to find the right fit in the college, and you need, I suggest, a list of 20 schools. We all have time right now. Find a list of 20 schools that your softball player is interested in. Ask the questions about academic fit, financially, time commitment. You know, everybody thinks they want to play Division I, but do you really have that time commitment in your heart to play at the Division I level? Because a Division I talent is one thing. Every college coach thinks their kids have Division I talent. But the question is, do you have that commitment where it's school softball and nothing else? How far away does your softball player want to go? What size of the school is going to fit her, and what type of coach? Listen, it is so important for you to do the research and start with a list of 20 schools that your softball player is interested in. And again, did you notice that the softball part was not 1 and not 2? It was academic and it was financial. Those are the first two that you should be looking at as a family. Softball should be down the list, because softball is temporary, college and life is forever. So college can set her up for the rest of her life. Softball is only temporary. I know we love it. I know it's important, but parents, you have life experience that these kids don't have. And while softball is part of the pie, it's not the whole thing. So it's very important that we get a proactive approach, and we start looking to have a plan. And that plan is thinking about this as a marketing campaign. You start creating, as a softball player, the kind of school you're interested in. Create a list of schools that fit your profile, and then get the word out. More so in this pandemic than ever before, college coaches at the Division I, II, and III level are recruiting from home. You need to proactively get your video in their hands and market yourself to them. And when we're talking about this and marketing to a college coach, think about it literally like a marketing campaign in business. You need to think yourself, why should this college coach recruit my daughter? Why should she? Well, she's smart. Well, that's good. If she's looking at an academic school, Division III, Ivy League, you know what? Explain to the coach how smart she is, what kind of AP classes she's taking. She's a great pitcher. Why? Tell the coach why she's a good pitcher. She's a great outfielder. Why? Because she's really fast. She's left-handed. She's a slapper. What makes your softball player special? At this point, there is something that they are all doing special, and you need to accentuate that to the college coach. So you need to develop a relationship with these college coaches. First off, remember, these are college softball coaches. The first thing is they want to see you play softball, but they're not getting out there. That's why you need to send them a skills video. Do not send emails to college coaches without a link to a video in it. And I'm telling you what you need to do. A skills video with just general skills, ground balls, fly balls, pitching, where they can assess your skill. Then send them a highlight video. And I'm only talking like 2 minutes of just the highlights from this past weekend. every one of our kids knows how to make these. Come on, they all know how to make TikTok videos. They all know how to do all this video stuff. Put them to work in a constructive way. Have them create highlight videos of their performance from the weekend from that GoPro footage. You can use social media, Twitter. All these things are ways to develop relationships with college coaches. But again, don't think coaches are scouring YouTube for videos. There's too many. Don't think coaches are waiting for Facebook Live of your game. They're not. You have to create a relationship with these coaches, treat it like marketing. And this is a quote I will never forget. We used to do these tournaments all over the country. And a coach in Texas said, you know what? Players want to feel special in the recruiting process. Well, so do I. When you send an email, this is why we suggest 20. You need to explain to the coach why you're emailing them, not just a generic email. Coaches are too smart for that. They know that that's a generic email. Talk about the school. Talk about their season. Talk about the history of the school, what they have, the program that you're interested in, and then start developing that relationship. Coaches are at home. You need to get their attention and develop that relationship with them through email, through social media. And then as coaches start coming out, attending events that they're at. So this keeps coming up as something about live streaming. And where I do think live streaming is a great idea. Live streaming is only, it's like if a tree falls in the forest and no one's there to hear it, did it make it a sound? Now, if you're live streaming a game, if the coach is watching, now I brought up this little image because this was always my problem with live streaming. Okay, does anyone know who the shortstop is? Anybody? Can anyone see the number of the pitcher? Anybody? Does anybody even know what the batter looks like? It is nearly impossible without some documentation to be able to tell who the players are. So where I think live streaming is a great idea, you have to develop that relationship with the coach so that that coach comes to the live streaming game looking for you. And because if you just throw a live stream game up there, look at it. I can't tell who any of those people are. Can you? So live streaming is nice, but archived and recorded and finding a highlight video of 2 minutes is even better. So if you want to make live streaming worthwhile, and again, I think it's a good idea. I mean, coaches, if they want to see your daughter, will watch to see it live. But what's more important is developing that relationship. And again, recording the video and creating that highlight video. So please, live streaming is a great idea, but just like, you know, you played showcase games and there are no college coaches at your game, well, guess what? It's even worse with live streaming because now all of these things are all over the internet. It's even harder to find. So record games, use that GoPro camera. Live streaming is great, but also record it and create that highlight video. So again, I am very thankful that you all have decided to be part of this recruiting camp at Northern Exposure in a very unique time. And if you're looking to purchase that video of just your skills video, and again, we will email it out to over 2,000 college coaches. But again, there's 200 kids in that stream doing, you know, doing all sorts of skills. You need to highlight yourself. And you need to go through what we talked about being proactive, about developing those relationships with the coaches, about creating your marketing campaign that you are focusing to the schools that you are interested in. So it's very, very important that you work through that. You get your individual schools on your list. You contact those coaches and you continue to contact them with new highlight videos and start developing that relationship with them.